I was elbow deep in the dishwasher, half listening to a podcast, when a menopause specialist said one sentence that made me freeze with a dirty fork in my hand. I am going to tell you exactly what she said in a minute, because once you hear it, you cannot unhear it. But first, I need to tell you what I believed before that sentence, because I think a lot of you believe it too, right now, today. I believed I was failing, not dramatically, not in some big, obvious way, just quietly, every single day, in 100 small moments. I gained weight around my waist, and I blamed myself. I woke up exhausted after 9 hours of sleep, and I blamed myself. I walked into a room and forgot why, and I blamed myself. I snapped at my husband over something ridiculous, like the way he loads the dishwasher I was currently unloading, and yes, I blamed myself for that too. I had turned "something is changing in my body" into "something is wrong with me." And I did that so smoothly, so automatically, that I never even noticed I was doing it until that podcast. Here's what the doctor said. She said that for years, women have been blaming themselves for changes that are simply their bodies changing. That's it. That's the sentence. Not complicated, not fancy. But standing there with wet hands and a dirty fork, I thought, wait, are you telling me I wasn't failing? Because that is exactly how it felt. Like failing a test nobody showed me the syllabus for. I want you to hold on to that feeling for a second, because I promise you, there is a moment coming up in this video that flips it completely upside down. But first, let me tell you about the car. Imagine you've driven the same car for 25 years. You know exactly how much pressure the gas pedal needs. You know the sound it makes when it's happy and the sound it makes when something's off. Then one day, while you're not looking, someone quietly swaps the engine. The car looks identical. Same color, same seats, same annoying rattle in the door. But it doesn't respond the same way anymore. You press the pedal and it feels different. It burns fuel differently. It hesitates where it used to be smooth. Now imagine nobody tells you the engine changed. Instead, everyone around you just says, press harder, try harder, be more disciplined. Wouldn't you start to think you were the problem? That was me. Pressing harder, eating less, forcing myself through workouts I used to love and now just dreaded, feeling guilty every single time my body refused to respond the way it used to. I wasn't working with my body, I was in a fist fight with it. And here's the part that stings a little. I was losing and I kept swinging anyway. So what actually changed the engine? This is the part I promised you. Estrogen doesn't just run one department. It's not sitting quietly in some reproductive system office doing its one little job. It's more like the CEO who has her hands in everything, whether you invited her or not. Your brain, your muscles, your bones, your metabolism, your sleep, your internal thermostat, your heart. When her involvement changes, the whole company feels it, not just one department. No wonder I didn't feel like myself. It wasn't in my head. My body was going through one of the biggest hormonal renovations it will ever experience, and nobody sent me the blueprints. Now, I want to be honest with you because I'm not here to hand you an excuse for every single thing that goes wrong after 50. Not everything is menopause. If something feels seriously off, please still see your doctor. But here's what I stopped doing the moment this clicked for me. I stopped assuming every struggle was a personal character flaw. And that realization hit me harder than I expected. I actually got a little emotional standing at my own sink, which, if you know me, is not a normal Tuesday. Because I started remembering all the things I used to say to myself. You have no willpower. You've let yourself go. You used to be stronger than this. I would never, ever say those words to a friend. I said them to myself daily, like a little unpaid intern whose only job was to insult me. So here's a question I want to leave sitting with you for the rest of this video. Not what's wrong with me, but what is my body trying to tell me? Those two questions do not lead to the same life. One fills you with shame, the other opens a door. And I promise you, what's on the other side of that door is better than you think. Once I stopped fighting my body, I got curious about it instead. Not because I wanted to become some kind of hormone expert reciting Latin names at dinner parties, just because I finally wanted to understand the woman I actually live inside of. And something strange happened. My inner voice, the one that used to sound like a disappointed drill sergeant, slowly started sounding like a friend instead. But the real surprise wasn't learning my hormones had shifted. The real surprise was realizing how much energy I had wasted fighting a body that was never my enemy to begin with. I kept trying to force it back into the shape of a woman from 15 years ago. Same metabolism, same energy, same sleep, same everything. And every time reality didn't cooperate, guess who got blamed? Not the hormones. Me. So I changed the question. Instead of asking, how do I get my old body back? I started asking, how do I take care of the body I actually have today? It sounds like a small shift. It was not, because suddenly I wasn't trying to win a fight anymore. I was trying to build a partnership. And this is where it gets practical, because I know some of you are waiting for that. Menopause is not the moment to punish your body. It's the moment to support it. Think about how backwards we've had this. If we gain weight, we eat less. If we're tired, we push harder. If we're stressed, we call ourselves weak for not handling it better. We've been treating our bodies like problems to solve instead of friends asking for help. Here's the test I use now. If my best friend showed up at my door completely exhausted, would I yell at her? Would I call her lazy? Of course not. I'd make her tea, I'd sit with her, I'd ask what she needed. So why was I treating myself like the one person in my life who didn't deserve that same kindness? That question hurt a little. It also healed something. Muscle matters now, not for how it looks in a photo, but because it's what lets you carry your own groceries at 80 without asking for help. Protein matters, not because I've turned into someone who tracks grams like a scientist, but because our bodies need a little more backup to hold on to muscle as we age. And sleep. Sleep stopped being the thing I did after every task on my list was finished. It became the thing that made every other task possible in the first place. None of this is about becoming perfect. It's about understanding. And understanding changes how you talk to yourself, how you eat, how you move, how you rest, how you age. If I could sit down next to the version of myself from 10 years ago, exhausted and confused and blaming herself for everything, I wouldn't hand her a diet plan or a supplement list. I would just take her hand and say, "You are not lazy. You are not broken. You are not losing your mind. Your body is simply asking you to understand it in a new way." The goal was never to become the woman you were at 35 again. The goal is to become the strongest, healthiest, happiest version of the woman you are right now. One of those goals is built on comparison. The other is built on compassion. And compassion, it turns out, is where the healing actually starts. So if you've been standing in your own kitchen lately, wondering what happened to your body, I hope this gave you a better question to ask than the one you've been carrying around. Not what's wrong with me, but what does my body need from me now? Tell me in the comments, has there been a moment when something finally clicked like this for you? I read every single one, and honestly, some of you have taught me more than any specialist ever has. If this kind of conversation helps you feel a little less alone, stay a while longer because I've got more of these coming, and I'd love to have you here for them.